Happiness comes from within. Happiness comes from you. You are the only person in your life that is responsible for your happiness. It is so unfortunate that there's so many people out there that walk around bitter and angry at anyone and everyone else that they can possibly point the index finger to other than themselves. You know, it took me a long time to understand that I was responsible for my own happiness, that my husband is not my happiness keeper, my job is not my happiness keeper, my life is not my happiness keeper. And when I say some of these things, I've always been tickled by people that say, what? Your job is not your happiness keeper, so do you like it or not? What? Your husband is not your happiness keeper, so what? He doesn't make you happy? No. Don't get any of those things twisted at all. When I talk about happiness keeper, I mean the sensational feeling of happiness, the happiness that comes from within. You know, years and years and years ago, because I was one of those people that used to walk around bitter, angry at the whole world, pointing the index finger to everyone else that I could point it to my childhood, to the people the adults that let me down, to the circumstances that found their way in my life when I was innocent. I was pointing my index finger to every and anyone and in any circumstance that I felt that had just let me down as an individual. I didn't at that point in time realize that I had the power to overwrite those circumstances to where I am now, to teachable moments, to helping other people. But that's what life is. Life is an accumulation of experiences. And so I say this to you today. At the point in time when I discovered that I was responsible for my happiness, I was walking around bitter, mad, and angry. And I realized that it was really literally taking a health toll on my body. It was taking a toll on my mind. At that point in time in those days, I used to self-medicate, and I was overdoing it. And so I wasn't happy. I was not happy until I realized the transforming and transformational process to me happened with the last toxic relationship that I was involved in. And I happened to be about 26 years old, where I mastered the courage to denounce what I was doing, how I was living, why I was allowing another person to contaminate my life, to be a part of the contamination of my inner happiness, and why I was allowing this person to be my happiness keeper. Long story short, this was a fiance who hurt me tremendously. And I realized at that point in time, through those episodes of hurt and pain, it was unbearable. Through those points of hurt and pain, I realized that I was relying too much on him being my happiness keeper. I thank God for a great revelation. I thank the divine for a divine healing within my heart and a divine transformation within my mind, because from that point in time on, I learned a crucial lesson that I will never ever freely let anybody be my happiness keeper. I say from that point on in time, I will always be my happiness keeper. I say from that point and time in my life, I promised myself, I said, memory, you are your happiness keeper. If you do not like any situation, any circumstances, anything that does not make you happy, you have the right to stop it, denounce it, walk away from it, and find true happiness. And I have stood by those promises. Those promises were very powerful to me, but those promises really did a lot in my life in terms where I knew at any point in time that I found myself starting to feel miserable or didn't like a certain thing or a certain environment or whatever the circumstance was. I knew I had the power to stop it dead in the track and reclaim my happiness, because I am my own happiness keeper. So are you. You are the person that has the master key to your happiness. You are the person that controls your happiness. You are the person that is solely responsible for your happiness. For you choose what you want to live in. You have the choice to do that. So why not choose the choice of being truly